In a world bustling with distractions and external expectations, the most profound journey that you can embark is the one within. Understanding yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors. It's not just an introspective exercise, it's the foundation of a fulfilling life. Join me, Melissa Remfer, as we explore 10 compelling reasons why self-knowledge is essential for personal growth and transformation. And this is going to be essential to understand our way that we actually engage with meaningful connections. So today we're going to talk about the importance of knowing yourself and why this self-knowledge matters. Hi everybody, my name is Melissa Remfer and I'm the founder of Giving Excellence. And today I'm going to share with you 10 reasons why self-knowledge matters. So the importance of knowing yourself. Why does self-knowledge matters? So we're going to cover 10 of these things. So the first one is enhanced decision-making. And so what I mean by that, I mean by knowing your values, your motivations, and that's going to help you make choices that are aligned with your true self. And that's going to lead to more satisfying outcomes. So when you make your decisions, you're going to be able to know the decisions that you make are going to be more true and authentic based on who and what you are. And so knowing yourself, it's not like you're just saying yes to say yes or no to say no because everyone else is doing it. You're going to be able to do it because it is in alignment with what is important to you. And so when you know what your values are and you know what your motivations are, and that's the key thing, because we all have different motivations. And sometimes we don't understand, sometimes those motivations are not necessarily the most healthiest motivations. So when we're able to understand our inner workings, we're going to be able to make better decisions. So the second area that we're going to be talking about is we're going to talk about improved relationships. And so that is going to be understanding your emotional triggers, your communication style, and how that's going to foster healthier interactions with deeper connections with each other. So think about that. If we understand like who we are, knowing ourselves, when we have our ways that just gets us irritated, gets us frustrated. Think about when you're in a relationship with loved ones. It could be a family member, it could be a coworker, it could be a client, and something just kind of rubs you wrong or it sets you off. Understanding what are the triggers behind us, as well as like how you communicate. Sometimes you may withdraw. Sometimes you just need space. Sometimes you're just like, boom, I'm in your face kind of a thing. Other times it could be more of, I need to think and process these things. Well, your other person who you are engaging with, the way that they communicate and what may or may not be triggering them, because what may trigger you may not trigger them, could affect your relationship. So this could be a client, this could be a significant other, this could be a sibling or a child. It could also be team workers or colleagues. So number 2, improved relationships. So number 3, greater emotional regulation. Okay, so just a second ago, I just like, boom, kind of how you got triggered. So greater emotional regulation, this is that self-awareness that helps you to recognize and manage your emotions effectively, reducing stress and promoting mental well-being. So think of this also as, if you think of like a gauge, how nervous you can get or how anxious you get or how frustrated or even angry you can get or how embarrassed or ashamed you can get and how those can actually become very debilitating or how it could actually like affect people around you as well as yourself. How much you may be trying to control how you don't want to be angry and just like it's, the anger and frustration can be building up. And so when you are more self-aware and why knowing yourself is going to make an important impact in your life is you start to be able to have a regulation in how much these emotional reactions and responses are going to be able to show up. And think of that intensity, that sharp, quick words that you may say or that quick way that like the anger rises, and how you're able to interact with it yourself, but also how it comes out towards other people or other situations. So being able to have that regulation emotionally is essential. So the fourth area, this is going to be understanding, that's the wrong one. It's going to be understanding your thought patterns and how that happens under stress. So, understanding thought patterns under stress. So, recognizing how you think when you're triggered or stressed, whether that's through negativity, overthinking, or the sky is falling, this catastrophe kind of a state. And that enables you to be able to challenge unhelpful thoughts before they start spiraling out of control. So this is really important because, that what if thought pattern, or I don't know enough, or what if they may think this. So the way that we think of it just kind of spiraling downhill, and it reinforces these things. And so when we get to know ourselves and you start to recognize what are the ways that these thought patterns show up, what are the ones that we actually have. So one, be able to identify what patterns we have. And then to start noticing, when do these patterns come up? Maybe it's with certain people, maybe it's certain situations, maybe it's with a certain trigger. It could be money, it could be energy and time, it could be other people, it could be in an environment, it could be certain scenarios. When you are a certain environment, if you're speaking on stage, or you are getting to the point of asking for what you're charging. So those kinds of things. So when you start understanding those thought patterns, you're going to be able to make some shifts and changes. Again, this is why it's important that self-knowledge matters, because you're going to be able to know yourself and what is the unique ways that your thought patterns under stress show up. So number 5, this is increased resilience. I always make sure I have to say that correctly. Resilience. That's a tongue twister. So increased resilience. This is by knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. That's going to be able to guide and navigate you more effectively, be able to bounce back with setbacks, especially with confidence, because we all get setbacks. We are human. We have life. We have things that happen in the external world, and those things can set you back. But be able to build up that resilience, and to have an increased capacity and an ability to have more resilience, that's going to be because you're going to know more of what are your strengths and weaknesses. What can you rely on? What can you tap into when things get tough, when things get challenging? What can you be able to engage in that's going to be able to help you pull through? And that's why knowing yourself and what makes you you is so important. Number 6. This is insight into behavioral reactions. There we go. Okay. Okay, so insight into behavioral reactions. Knowing how you typically behave when you're stressed. So think about this. When you're stressed, and I'll just take a moment, and actually I would love to hear your thoughts. When you're stressed, what do? What is your go-to behavior? When you're stressed, you grab ice cream. When you are stressed, you lash out. When you're stressed, you withdraw. When you're stressed, you put Netflix on. When you are stressed, what? I would love to hear what happened. What do you do when you're stressed? Because this insight allows you to develop healthier coping mechanisms that's going to be able to promote constructive responses instead of destructive ones. And so when you know yourself, you get to know, okay, here's my go-to thing when I'm stressed. When I am stressed, I go grab ice cream. I go shopping. I go for a walk. I call a friend. And I vent / whatever. What is it? And then you can take a look at that. Is it a healthy way of engaging it? Is it an unhealthy? Or is it kind of like an in-between? Okay, I can do this in moderation, but then I need to do something else. Yes, you know what? I'm going to have a cup of ice cream and I'm going to go for a walk afterwards. Or I'm going to enjoy a glass of wine because I'm stressed. Or I'm going to, and I'm not going to say what is the right or wrong answer for each person, because each person is different and unique. And I also want to bring this up. Knowing yourself, you're going to know what are your behavior reactions. What are the ways that when you're reacting and you're responding, it's what's getting you into trouble. So that is number 6. Number 7 is boosted confidence. And doesn't it just feel good? Like when you feel confident, which is like, And that can look like so many different things. It can look like when you have an outfit and it just looks good on you. And you're just like, I feel good. I look good. Your confidence is boosted. You just did something that like you were nervous to do, but you did it. And you're like, yes, I did this. So boosted confidence. This is a deep understanding of yourself, and it cultivates self-acceptance, which also enhances your overall sense. Self-acceptance leads to more confidence, which leads to more self-acceptance, which leads to more confidence. And that's going to overall all confidence in your life. So this is important. So when you know yourself and you get to know what things can enhance your confidence, then you can do more of those things to help boost more confidence. Okay, I'm going to give you a little secret behind the scenes for me. So before I do these kinds of videos, or before I do something on stage or something like that, a lot of people don't know this, but I can actually get really nervous and really jittery. Even though I have a degree in theater, it's still, there's some, especially when it comes to camera. If you guys saw how many bloopers are like blah, 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 me doing things. So I actually like have these two little things that I do, and it just kind of like gets me out of my rut and it boosts my confidence. And that is, I sing the song, I'm a Little Teapot, Short and Stout. And I do it as like a big and goofy and hand gestures. And, I do the whole entire thing. But it just kind of gets me out of my head. It gets me out and it gets me into my body. And it just boosts my confidence because it's all like, I could do this, kind of a thing. Some people, this boosting their confidence, it could be doing affirmations. It could be standing in certain positions where you are re-engaging the neural pathways, which deal with your emotional pathways, your emotional responses as well. So, you're doing the confidence pose, or being also aware of like maybe like your shoulders are going in. You're like, okay, just changing your body posture, or how you walk, or how you're holding your head. So little things like that. It could be like calling someone, saying, hey, I'm going to do this, just tell me I've got this, and let the other person give you a pep talk, kind of a thing. So there's all kinds of different ways, but this is important about knowing yourself, is what are the ways that you can boost your confidence that are going to be instant pick-me-up so that you can go step into that next thing that you're looking to do. So that's number 7. Boosted confidence. Okay, number 8 is clarified goals and aspirations. So we're looking at, this is the part that is that self-knowledge that illuminates what truly matters to you. Clearly enabling this goal setting that just aligns with your authentic desires. And so when you know yourself, and and why the self-knowledge matters, you're going to be able to go, do I really want this? Or do I want this because other people want this? Or I'm reaching for this goal because, my parents thought this was important, or my significant other thought this was important, or this is what I see the industry say, so therefore, like, I should be offering this. And this is where you get into some trouble with that imposter syndrome. So being able to illuminate what truly matters to you, and this is where it actually comes into like, what stirs your heart? What is motivating you? Well, that's going to be able to help you get some clear goal setting. So you're like, I want this. Do I want a company that is this size? Or do I want a company that is this size? Do I want to work with people, these kinds of people, or do I want to work with these kinds of people? And so when you get to really look at like what it is that is unique for you, that self-knowledge of what is truly matters for you, then you're going to be able to take that and use it when you define your goals and clarify them, and especially those aspirations, because that's what you are moving towards, and because your heart is yearning for that. You're craving more of that. And that's part of your gift that you're bringing to this world, is to be able to move forward in that direction. So that's number 8, clarified goals and aspirations. Number 9 is better conflict resolution. And that's going to be looking at the awareness of your own biasness and your perspectives. So you're going to have a certain way that like you see and you know the world, and this other person sees and they know the world, and you may solve a situation this way and they may see a situation, and the next thing goes like, because that never happens in my household. Case in point, Ty and I were just having a conversation a couple days ago, and we were actually talking with somebody else, and I saw one thing one way, he saw something another way, and we disagreed on it. Well, being able to have a better conflict resolution is because there's an awareness of your own biasness and perspectives. So I saw something one way, he saw something another. Well, that's going to be able to help you to engage in these constructive dialogues rather than these conflicts or these arguments that are more of a reactionary thing, or I'm trying to prove my point, or I'm trying to get my way. And so when you're able to understand yourself and understand how you're showing up or how you see or perceive things, that awareness is going to be able to help you have a little bit of space, have a little bit of a pause in what you are doing, and be curious about what that other person might have saw or experienced, because their experience and their perspective is different. Because we're all unique, we all have our own biasness, we all have our own perspectives, we all have our own awareness of what happened. So it could be like you notice something, the other person noticed something, and there could be breakdown. So instead of a reactionary in a conflict, it could be a communication in a conflict where you're able to communicate, I saw this or I experienced this, and you actually have a chance to be open to be able to listen to what the other person may say or their experience, but also you can listen to what they're saying and be able to articulate your own experience, because you can talk about it from your thing, because you understand yourself. You understand you may be more drawn to this, or you may be more triggered by this, or you may be more inclined to that perspective. And so again, it's going to all come down to knowing yourself is going to improve so you have better conflict resolution, which is always good. I suggest that. And now, number 10. So number 10 deals with holistic well-being. And I like this because if we're talking about you, you are complex. Knowing yourself is how you think, how you feel, how you respond. So thinking, feeling, behaviors. We're human. We have all three. And then you have the whole thing of like what's going on internally in you and then in the environment. But having this holistic well-being is important, and why self-knowledge matters, because it promotes a balance in all domains of your life. So we're looking at mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and this is going to lead to an overall wellness. And so if you're looking at yourself and how you can be your best self and how you can move forward as a holistic whole being able to work on all of these domains in your life is going to be essential. And so sometimes it may be taking, I'm going to focus on just one area, or I'm going to focus on another, but be able to take it as a complete whole is going to also enhance your overall quality of life. And that's just going to make you a happier person. And when you're a happier person, you're a much easier person to be around for your clients, your colleagues, and your loved ones. So I just want to share this comprehensive list emphasizes not only this importance that we have of just knowing ourselves, but it actually provides some practical insights into our cognitive process during our stressors, as well as our emotional responses, as well as our physical responses. All crucial elements are important for fostering personal growth and stronger relationships. And that is my heart's desire with all the things that I do, is how to help you be your best person, how to help you be in a state of self-improvement. And so that's why I do these things like this. I do these videos so that you're going to be able to have something practical and tangible, as well as just go do this, go learn this, go read this book. So there's a reason behind everything that we're doing here. So by embracing the importance of knowing yourself, you're going to be able to unlock this personal transformation that can profoundly impact basically every aspect of your life. And that's really going to be important, because as you are continuing to grow and be the best version of yourself, being able to know yourself is going to be essential. So if you have any interest in learning more about yourself and others, I'm going to invite you to a very personal invitation. And so what I would like you to do is, if you are interested in learning about yourself and others, I would like you to join me on this mini workshop. It's a little bit of Dr. Seuss flair with some fun and just some practical exploration of just what makes you you. Welcome to Youer Than You, understanding yourself and others. Do you want to better understand yourself and others? And do you want to maybe increase your communication more effectively? Maybe you're curious about why some personalities are just easier to get along versus other ones are just not quite so easy for you. Why do some people procrastinate and while other people's can be extremely helpful? Why are some people really critical while others just seem to get things done? They have no problem reaching goals and striving and getting out of their comfort zone. So if any of this is of any interest to you, I would love to invite you to the You Are Than You workshop. And so during this workshop, what I would like you to do, it's really simple. All you need to do is comment below and just say, know yourself. That's all you need to do. And that will let me know. I can send you the link to this thing. You can get the link here on this image. However, I can just send it over to you and you can learn more about this upcoming workshop. It's free and it'll be a live workshop and it'll be tailored also towards anything that you would like to make sure we're covering and exploring. But the ideas here is we're going to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of whimsy, hence the Dr. Seuss, as well as the practical, because I like to bring in both, of how we can learn ourselves, how we can engage to be our best versions, and what makes you you, what makes you unique, and how you can take knowing yourself and move it forward personally and professionally. So by embracing self-awareness, it's not just an introspective journey. It's just a powerful tool for navigating life's complexities. And this will give you confidence and clarity. By investing in the time and under yourself, how you think, how you feel, and how you behave or respond, you're going to be able to take and move forward in a way that's going to be able to empower you more confidently. And with that, I just want to say thank you for joining me for this. My name is Melissa Renfer, and I'm with Giving Excellence. And if you have any questions, please reply below, and I will be happy to reach out and talk with you. Cheers.